Hey, bye, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, it's a time that I'm coming to the end of looking at the Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense. It is the last episode in the box set, Volume 2. It is episode 12, and the wall came tumbling down from 1984. And this is another great episode. I love it. This series has been an absolute revelation because I think it's been overshadowed still by the Hammer House of horror. But this has been a great series. I really liked it. So let's get into this last one. Now, this was transmitted November the 19th, 1984. Now, it's written by, there's two writers here, and both are really interesting writers. We've got Dennis Spooner and John Peacock. Dennis Spooner was a great writer for TV and creator. He created the Champions, which I absolutely loved. That was 1968 to 1969. Such a great classic series. He also created Department S, which was 1969, and the spin-off Jason King between 1971 and 1972. And he did lots of TV, just lots of TV series and episodes that he contributed. Yeah, and then John Peacock, he did Straight On Till Morning, 1972 Hammer film. He wrote that. Also, the very last Hammer film in this particular, in the old Hammer films, To the Devil a Daughter, 1976. He wrote that one, and that is the farewell. And then, of course, Hammer does come back, but not. That is the end of the era. That, so what a connection with Hammer. And then he just continued and did lots of different TV series that he wrote. Yeah, it's excellent. And then it's directed by Paul Annett. Now, he directed The Beast Must Die from 1974. Starring Peter Cushing. It's a werewolf one, yes. Excellent, that one. That's the most outstanding. But he's a great contributor to TV series, and apparently the major one that he was involved in was EastEnders. 90 episodes between 1998 and 2009. Wow. So there we are. That's the director. Now, I think I'll just talk about the locations. The locations add quite a bit, as usual, to these stories. So we've got locations here. We've got St. Andrew's Church, Wood, Walton, Cambridgeshire, and that is fantastic. It really is. Then we've got Western Dock Development. That's in Wapping, London. And then we've got 1st, 2nd and 3rd Avenue, Plaistow, London, which we see all these terraced houses and that. Brilliant, absolutely. the sort of derelict. It struck quite a chord seeing all that, because I remember that period in time, all over Britain, really, the old terraced houses, some of them still there, and, you know, since the 60s, developments have been going on, and they were all getting knocked down for new developments. And then, of course, as often in these, Shenley Hospital was used for the interiors, Shenley, Hertfordshire, all around the sort of areas which they worked in previously. So that is a background to it, and let's look at the cast. We've got Barbie Benton, what a name, Barbie Benton playing Caroline Trent. Barbie Benton is just full of TV series and TV films. It's quite outstanding in what she's done, all sorts. Then we've got a very familiar face, I think, to many people. Sadly, he's not with us now, but it's Gareth Hunt playing Peter Whiteway. Now, he's really known, he made his name in the New Avengers, the wonderful new, I love the New Avengers. That was between 1976 and 1977. It was a great experiment, the New Avengers, and I don't think he gets enough credit, but he was a very key part of that with Joanne Lumley as the New Avengers, you know, with Patrick McNee again as John Steed. Excellent series it was. And then he was in Doctor Who. Yes, Doctor Who, Planet of the Spiders, 1974. So that was before he was cast in the New Avengers. And it's a third Doctor story, but it's an important one because, yes, it is a regeneration story, and it is excellent. And if you've got a phobia about spiders, then that's the episode to get you really frightened. Yeah, that's excellent. He did a few other interesting films. He did Bloodbath at the House of Death, 1984, which is kind of a comedy horror. Kenny Everett, of all people, is in it, but Vincent Price. Yes, I know. You know, I've never seen that. That would be an interesting film to look at. Also, he did what many people regard as a sequel, kind of, but it isn't. It's because of the cast. To A Fish Called Wanda, which was Fierce Creatures from 1997. Yeah, it is in that. And then, say, you just look, and he was just popping up everywhere on the TV in various series and TV films. What a career he had. Yeah. Then we've got Brian Deacon, who plays Alan Yardley. Films that stand out that he was in were The Triple Echo, 1972. I know that Oliver Reed and Glenda Jackson. Vampires, 1974. A Z and Two Noughts, 1985. And then, again, just quite a lot of TV series and TV films. Then we've got the very, well, outstanding figure of Peter Wingard, who plays Daniel and General Haswell. It's funny because I mentioned Jason King and Department S earlier in terms of Dennis Spooner. Well, here we have him in this, Peter Wingard. Well, he was in Doctor Who, you know. Planet of Fire, 1985, which is a fifth Doctor story. It was in a horror film called Night of the Eagle, 1962, so that was very much earlier on. He was in Flash Gordon, of course. Yeah, Flash Gordon. But as I say, he was well known as Department S, 1969, and as Jason King. Jason King, 1971 to 1972. I remember watching that. He was like a dandy character in that. He really was. Fashion preening, doing all these, detecting all these cases. It was funny. It really was. But that's Peter Wingard. Then we got Patricia Hayes, who plays Granny Waters. She's a very familiar face, she was. Apparently, she goes back to 1936. She was in Carry On Again, Doctor, 1969. Whole host of little small parts. She was in Fragment of Fear as well, 1970, David Hemmings' film. She was in Willow, 1988, and A Fish Called Wanda. So we've got another connection there. 1988, Fish Called Wanda. And she was such a familiar face on TV. I recognise her straight away. You just couldn't help but, you know, she has that face. And we had Carol Royal playing Kim Osborne. She's just more of a TV series, TV actress. And that's the cast, really. So you're saying, hey, Mike, what is it about? Well, what I like about this, it's definitely a supernatural, occult, religious one. We see a building site, and there's this church which is about to be demolished, and then we get a flashback to 1649. A period of history that I'm very much versed with, the English Civil War period, and there's a satanic cult involved, and we see the rituals, and we get the story of what is happening, about how they are hiding basically because they've been discovered, and the punishments that are meted out to them. There's only one punishment: burning. Then in the modern era, again, the character that we see, this young lad, he's kind of got some connection, he feels, to this church, and he always has throughout his life. And we have that story going on. And then we get a female journalist coming in who is interested in sort of occult ideas and, you know, investigation. And we get these two coming together, and then we get two deaths, and then there's this general. What is the connection? And it's beautifully put together. I love the atmosphere of this story, that modern aspect, and how society is changing, but yet the old ways of it's like the modern world is coming in, taking over, and yet echoes from the past are still there. The traditions and the old satanic cults, it's all there. It's all mixed in. And the church, of course, being the centre of that, especially when a church is no longer a church. It's fascinating looking at, you know, all the aspects of that. But it's a great story. It's well acted. I didn't find the 70 minutes too long at all. I just loved the story, and I thought the acting was great. Even though Peter Wingard doesn't actually say a lot or do a great deal, but when he's there, just with him not even saying anything, he's got this wonderful presence, and it's fantastic. Oh, yes, I love it. And this is a great end to the series. I've thoroughly enjoyed these. Having the opportunity to watch all these wonderful stories, it makes me appreciate them even more. And I will come back. I know I've watched my favourite ones again. There's so many. right back from the 1980 Hammer House of Horror series. So it's the end. Oh, it's the end of the series. We'll just have one more look. There it is. At the end. Oh, yes. But who knows what is going to come next? Well, maybe similar themes of anthology films might occur next week. We will see. There we are. Anyhow, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and then we'll let you know when I produce all these videos. And you can look back on playlists and see all the episodes that I've done on all these series, and then look at the films and music and everything else that I do on this channel. Have a look there. And if you like this particular video, please give it a like. Get it out onto YouTube and the algorithms and all that. If you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. And it all costs note, and it's reet grand. Hey, by heck it is. So, all I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.